All roads lead to New York then on the 9th of June as the small matter of India taking on Pakistan yet again in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 takes place. We thought while this would be a blockbuster fixture, it's an academic fixture as far as the format goes. That's changed. Pakistan have done Pakistan things. They've dropped crucial points to the United States. Their tournament life effectively is on the line. So we build up to that game on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout, powered by DishTV Watcho. Sanjay Manjrekar in studio with me, and we're also joined by former Pakistan captain Urooj Mumtaz. Let me start with you. After what's happened with Pakistan in the opening game, they come to this venue where the pitch has been dominating the headlines. What does it do for this as a contest? Because I know where you stand on where you rate this Pakistan team otherwise.
I think their bowling will get a little bit of a boost because there's something for the fast bowlers on this pitch. Having said that, nothing's going right for Pakistan because I just watched that game, Netherlands, South Africa, and the pitch is looking good. And towards the end, David Miller hit some shots which were somewhat similar to the kind of shot that you get to see in the IPL. Now, that is not such great news for Pakistan. So, the pitch is changing for the better, which is great for the game.
It was still a game that was challenging for batting, though, with the scores?
In the morning, yes, but I watched the whole game. I was looking more for any ball that was rearing from a length, and that didn't happen at all. And yes, it's not an easy pitch. The outfield is still slow. But Andy Flowers, worry about it being dangerous. I think that is now so slowly dissipating.
All right, but it is dangerous territory. If Pakistan lose this game, Urooj, how do they turn it around? Or is this possibly the best thing to happen to them to come up in this game against India? What's their best chance of getting in the game?
While history tells us Pakistan are probably best when they're pushed in the corner, that can be true for the personnel of teams that have been in the past, where we've had some really good characters in the team who can turn things around. For this Pakistan side, slightly more difficult because they've been short of form. And I don't say that for one player, but quite a few players have been slightly short of form with the bat. With the bowling, you'd imagine with the quality and the experience that the four-seamers have, they will probably come back and understand the lengths to bowl at this particular pitch. And like you said, the New York surface has been under scrutiny and has been heavily discussed. I think it's Pakistan's batting that will be worrisome.
And overall confidence. I was disappointed with the way the super over went for Pakistan, more than the actual game where they were sort of lagging behind, USA. Mohammad Amir, now with all his experience and class that he had, he was nervous bowling to an Aaron Jones and general tension on the ground. There was anxiety, and that is a difficult thing to get rid of. So when you look at Babar, Mohammad Rizwan, who is out there, high on confidence. No one, even Shadab Khan, one of their, brilliant T20 players, is short of confidence. So that is more a worry and a difficult thing to address. Other things, you can hope for.
Bowling first is their best chance against India. So a toss becomes important or not as significant?
Toss is important.
Yeah.
Although, maybe the advantage that you would get earlier would not be as much. But with Pakistan, it's really about their batting. I mean, they lost to USA because they didn't get enough runs on the board to begin with. So that is going to be their main challenge, to get runs on the board.
The one time that they've beaten India in T20 World Cup cricket, we remember that in the men's T20 World Cup, Shaheen Afridi led the charge, they bowled first and the batters then did the job. Slightly different times now, slightly different form, but are there personnel changes expected? Gary Kirsten says on the eve of this game, Urooj, that Imad Wasim is fit and will play. Tell us a little more about that and any other changes that you see?
I said this in the game against the US as well. I think Imad was carrying a bit of a side strain on his right rib, which was probably a recurrent happened in England as well, where he missed the last T20. I thought Imad should have, if was fit, would have played. I would still give Rizwan the gloves and I would make Azam sit out. Again, nothing against Azam, but I just feel he's failed to convert franchise cricket performances on the international stage. And with so much pressure on him, I just feel he probably can do with a bit time away from the game. Also, the way the combination fits, Imad is very, very effective in that late middle order with the bat. And we're not looking at a score around 180 plus. We're looking at a very 150, 160, if that also. Like Sanjay saying, if the wickets eased up a bit. But there's a very template where Pakistan follows the 140, 160 range. And that's where Imad becomes effective for me. Whether they go with Saim back up the order, I'm not sure, because that experiment, as they call it, didn't work out and they resorted back to the old new Rizwan Babar up the order, and I think they'll continue with Osman. So for me, I think they will go with the Azam with the Imad Wasim change, which will give them an option with the new ball in the power play as well, with having the seam options who can all do the job.
I might just look for somebody who's a better batter because that is the area they want to address. I don't think you'll need spin as much, and pick a batter whose confidence is still intact because that is where I see Babar Azam down on confidence, Mohammad Rizwan as well, and some of their bowlers too. So, yeah, that is the main thing.
Pick your better batter.
Pick a better batter because
Alright.
they've got enough bowling with fast bowling and back your strength, fast bowling. Yeah.
Yes,
you were saying.
Urooj.
The problem Pakistan have, and just echoing on Sanjay's point, Pakistan don't have a batter in the armory in that middle order. So the only change they can make is Imad Wasim. The only other
With the
players is they
experience,
have
yeah.
one spinner. And yes, Imad with all his experience, they only have one spinner, one seamer, and Saim sitting outside. So they're missing that fast bowling all rounder with who could have batted. So the only other option they have is Imad, and that's the squad they've picked. So with all the experience, again, he led Islamabad United in the PSL, 4 straight victories with the bat. So he's that kind of guy who can get them over the line if it comes to those last 3 or 4 overs with the bat.
All right, interesting. As far as India go, they decided to play both left-arm spinning all-rounders. Is there a case for Kuldeep Yadav to come in, or do you see the same team?
Same team. Because this pitch has enough for the finger spinners to make an impact, get wickets as well. We've seen Keshav Maharaj being successful every time he's bowled on that surface. So India will go with the same team. India also a little worried about their batting on a tricky pitch, and they want Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma to play with all the freedom possible. So Akshar Patel, the batter, Jadeja, the batter, also is help. Is a big help. So Kuldeep Yadav is a pure artistic bowler, not really needed for the kind of conditions that we have here.
To not compromise on batting depth, could they play Kuldeep at the expense of one seamer and have Hardik as the third seamer?
No, I thought, the seam attack was brilliant because Arshdeep, if the pitch eases up, Arshdeep with his swing and, his skills in the depth will be important. And if he doesn't bowl well, at least you have a backup in Mohammad Siraj and Hardik Pandya. I think the team is just perfect for New York conditions. Later, they might want to get Kuldeep Yadav in, but for the moment, perfect.
Would you if you were Pakistan, would you welcome that team without Kuldeep Yadav in it, Urooj? We also know they stack up with right-handers with the exception of Fakhar Zaman and Imad Wasim if he plays.
Well, Pakistan's trouble with spin and Kuldeep's trouble has troubled Babar so many times off late. But I think just going with, for Pakistan, I think they'll worry about if they do play Kuldeep. But looking at the surface with their trick in it, I thought the seamers, I think what they picked up 8 wickets between them. The Indian seamers that day bowled of very, very good lengths, with especially the angle coming into the right hander. I think they'll go with the same team because of the batting depth issue. I think both the seam, but even the left arm spin, Pakistan not very comfortable with that ball spinning away, barring Usman and Azam, and I don't think Azam will feature in this. So I think India, with their seam, the way they performed the other day, Pakistan will have to bring out real skill and temperament if they are to even put up a good score if they bat first.
And the danger with a spinner like Kuldeep Yadav is that there is a tendency, despite him bowling well, to get one big over. Iftikhar Ahmed, if he goes after him and, 15 or 18 run over, 18 runs is almost 20% of the score on this kind of a pitch. So, yeah, India won't take that chance.
All right. History is not with Pakistan as far as a head-to-head goes in this tournament. Form is not with Pakistan recently. So I guess, Urooj, I'm not going to ask you for a team that's favourites, but who is that one player who could potentially make a difference if we are to see Pakistan bounce back in remarkable fashion? The one player that you sense needs to have the best day possible?
I think Shaheen with the ball up front. They did not have a good power play with bat or ball, but I think Pakistan dents so many games with the ball up front, and it's more so down to Shaheen with that ball swinging. We saw Arshdeep swing the ball the other day. If there's any swing that there is on offer, Shaheen should be able to extract it, and he's had his fair share of success. Not just him, Amir and Naseem, they've all had their fair share of success against the Indian openers. I think that is one thing that can derive confidence from. And inspire a little bit more positivity in that. The other thing as well with the batting and the kind of surface we've seen so far, it'll come back to a very skilled player to get them through. And I feel that's where Babar will have to bring his A game. And it'll suit him because we're not asking him to play at 150 strike rate on that surface. So far, at least, that's how it's played out. So I think those two, one with bat, one with ball, will be key.
All right. So former Pakistan captain picks the two captains that we've seen for Pakistan in T20 cricket to be the key in this game. Rohit Sharma has a poor record against a number of the Pakistan seamers. Virat Kohli has an exceptional record against the Pakistan seamers. It would be intriguing to see if they are to bat first and set a score. How do you see them going? We haven't seen batting first be easy at all in this venue.
I think Virat has committed himself to playing attackingly. Even in that run chase, which was just about 96, he was looking to play shots. So he'll continue with his IPL form. Rohit Sharma is playing with a pure mind, that doesn't worry about getting out. India will play in exactly the same fashion. When chasing, maybe Virat Kohli might slow down a little bit if the target is small, but I don't see Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma playing any differently. India blessed now with Rishabh Pant, with the kind of technique and the big game that he has batting at number 3. So he'll be the fulcrum and one of the major impact players for India in this batting lineup on this pitch.
All right, let's pick up the conversation on match day. Thank you very much to Sanjay, Manjrekar, and Urooj, Mumtaz. We'll have both of them as India play Pakistan yet again in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, an old rivalry that will be renewed in New York on the 9th of June. This was our build up to it on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout, powered by DishTV. Watcho.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक OTT के दाम पे सारे OTT शान से।
Watcho.